Hello, Liana Beitasha here, and I guess I can speak up so you can hear me better. I heard some feedback about that, and holding some green for self-love because I need more of that in my life, more self-love. I am feeling a lot, going through a lot, and just feel weighed down by it and tired and depressed, but also actively grieving and crying a lot. So, not really an easy moment. Not an easy moment to be alive and present to all that is. And I have fallen off the bandwagon, definitely fallen off the pleasure bus, the pleasure stream, river of enjoying all that is. And but I love dancing, so I'm going to dance after this, and I'm probably not going to even exercise or stretch. I just feel like my ability to do much above the bare minimum, I can't do much above the bare minimum. And I am definitely needing more self-love and wanting to enjoy. So I guess what I would like to share is I have a lot of experience of doing my own thing and staying true to myself and holding to my own integrity, my own path, my own interests, and yet every time I do that, it just seems like I am alone in that choice of doing my own thing. Like, I don't really find other people who are here with me playing with costumes and dancing or embracing Jewish paganism, and perhaps that's because I lose the joy of it, the joy of why I do what I do and my passions and my interest. And so I just end up fixating on the oh God, here I am again, alone again in my own world. And where are my people? Where are my people? Where are my friends? Where's my partner? And where are the people who get me and want to join me in my projects and my travels and want to benefit from all my love that I give to those around me? Like, I cuddled my Draco and gave my Drake, I gave him so much love today because I have a lot of love to give, and he's the one being who I can just go up to and scoop up and give him kisses. Especially since Bear passed, I've been cuddling Draco every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And so I guess this I have a lot of experience doing my own thing because that's what I'm called to do, and where I find the most everything in. I love Judaism, I love Passover, so Chag Sameach, Pesach, everyone, and liberation for all. It's truly when one is oppressed, all are oppressed, and I can't wait until we're all free from oppression and repression, oppression from others and from above, and then repression from our insides and our own self-limitations. And I love paganism, and I love dancing, and I love costumes, and yet here I am alone. Like, I just have a lot of moments of being alone, and I suck at reaching out. That's true. I suck at reaching out because I have some old programming about that from childhood and maybe from beyond, and just feeling like I'm gonna disturb somebody and then they're gonna fly off the handle, which makes it's an irrational fear. So I have a lot of irrational fears that keep me in separation. And yet sometimes I do invite people, and then it doesn't seem to align, and so there's a lot of like misalignment, and like, yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, I want to get back to the joy of my path, the joy that I feel, the connection that I feel with all that I'm passionate about, and not as a fuck you to everyone else who has rejected me or just not been aligned with me or turned me down or ignores me or just is there and I'm not even reaching out, or, you know, let me down in some way. Not as a, like, just to feel my own joy and be joyful and enjoy life. So I'm going to try to get back to that by dancing. And whenever I listen to Charlie Fink's songs, he's the songwriter for Noah and the Whale, the band. They were around 2006 to 2015, I believe. And whenever I play Charlie Fink's songs, I don't feel alone. I feel understood. I feel like somebody gets me. And this, I frame it as like hopeless longing, you know, this like never ending longing, and you're already like, oh, well, it's not gonna happen, but oh, and then there's a spark of hope, and then there's like the letdown and the disappointment, and like a spark of hope, and then the letdown and disappointment, and just kind of feeling caught in that cycle. And saw a beautiful quote that like hope is not some airy-fairy rainbow sparkles thing. It has like grit and like dirt and blood, and like hope is like, it can be a really tough thing to like keep going. And that was like, I give up hope really quickly. So I trying to work on that, to not crash so hard. But yeah, I am kind of crashing, and I am triggered, and I am defensive, and I am wounded, and I am a little 3-year-old, and I'm also an adult who has I meet my basic needs: food, shelter, clothing, good hygiene. Like, I take care of myself. I'm surviving. My basic needs are met, and I have a lot of desires and wants, and, you know, those other needs that aren't like basic needs, but like that really help you fulfill your life. And I haven't had some of those needs. For me, it actually helps for me to distinguish, because I have this like 3-year-old in me that really needed things, and then really didn't have those met. I went through neglect, physical and emotional neglect. And so there's this like 3-year-old in me that's like, my needs aren't met. And yet a 3-year-old's needs and an adult needs are very different. And so I, as an adult, meet my basic needs. And that is something that I need to celebrate, but also separate from these other things, because need for me is like, it's such there's such a charge to it, because that 3-year-old really needed things and didn't receive them. And so for me, needs is a really it's a very energized, needy, like potent word that doesn't quite allow for the spaciousness of like adult wants and desires. And so I've found it helpful for me to separate out these two things, so that I can know that I'm taking care of myself and that I have these desires, and that these desires can offer so much more joy and fulfillment in my life, but I'm not desperate for them. Like, I can still survive without these wants and desires being met, and they haven't been met for a very long time. I can't even emotionally or mentally remember a time when they were met, and so I feel like that's also hard of, like, you know, my relationship needs, like remembering a time when they were actually like met is hard, and so like grounding that into myself, you know, can be difficult, and I'm happy to share with you and happy to move on to dancing because I got a full schedule. Okay, thank you.